We are at the magnificent Cortina Curling Olympic Stadium. There it is right in your picture, that glass wall. Used to be open to view the mountains in the fresh air. And we're welcoming the fans. Today it is session 5 out of 12 sessions. It's the 4-person format. And we shall be watching Canada versus Latvia.
Can you say USA to the camera?
Yeah, lots of love for Paralympic curling. The teams just being welcomed onto the ice.
Are you ready?
Here's how they're getting on so far. Canada unbeaten, 3 out of 3. Latvia on 1 out of 3. Oh, don't be mistaken. Certainly men's and women's. Latvia still developing in their curling journey, but in wheelchair curling, Latvia really one of the top teams. They have teams in the 4-person format and the brand new wheelchair mixed doubles format, and Canada doesn't. Canada's mixed doubles team did not qualify for Paralympic Winter Games. That just shows you the strength and depth in the wheelchair game. And Latvia, for at least this past Olympic cycle, and the one before, they are really at the top of the wheelchair game. They are one of the big teams. Canada will be taking this very seriously.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Please welcome the players who will compete in wheelchair curling mixed team round-robin session 5.
Just be saying hello to the teams. So both teams have a couple of changes in their lineup. From left to right then, on your screen you have fourth and skip. That's Mark Idison. Third thrower, John Thurston. Second thrower, Ina Forrest. And at lead is Gilbert Dash. Typically goes by Gil. That's how Canada have done so far. As you can see, yeah, that there's some tight games out there. Canada getting the wins, but certainly not easy. And for Latvia, they have also had a couple of changes in their lineup. From left to right, at lead is Elija Azina. Second thrower and skip is Ojars Bridis. Third, Linda Nigeri. Fourth thrower, Sergej Chechenko. That's their run so far. So everything to play for. We have 10 teams in the 4-person format. In the round-robin stage, all the teams play everyone else. And the top 4 teams at the conclusion, that's how it stands at the moment. Still very tight, as you can see. Top 4 teams will qualify for semi-finals. All the teams still with chances.
Le partite inizieranno tra un minuto. Buona fortuna e buon curling!
Let's say hello to the coaching bench. There's Nick Lismore for Canada. Happy this morning. This team doing very well so far. Here is the team coach for Latvia. That's Richard Jeschke. Both the teams have 1 timeout if they wish. They have 38 minutes of thinking time and 1 timeout. Here's the ice conditions. It's getting tricky as the warmer weather is coming, but the ice crew is working round the clock to keep the ice conditions perfect for curling.
Like 250.
Jesus, you guys. Molly, put the rock. Okay. 215.
Top 4.
It will be Gil Dash who leads us off today. Canada wearing the darker uniforms, the black uniforms, and throwing red stones. Latvia wearing white uniforms and throwing yellow stones. And that's a decent effort from him. He gets something in the house. It is Latvia who have last stone in this first end. You can tell by the little hammer next to their flag. First throw of the game for Alicia Asmina. Hear the fans in the house already. Curling always super popular at Olympic and Paralympic Winter Games. They still have plenty of curling left. Both in the four-person format, the traditional rules, and the brand new mixed doubles format.
Yeah, I think so.
He wants it in.
How does Latvia end up with last stone in this first end? Well, at the club, you simply toss a coin, actually. You call heads or tails, and whoever wins the coin toss, they get last stone advantage in the first end. But at this level, it's a little bit too random. And how you work it out at this level is the players have, both teams have a practice before beginning the game here. At the conclusion of the practice, both teams put forward 2 players from their team. One player throws a stone towards the centre, curling clockwise, so left to right, as we would see it. And the other teammate throws a stone anti-clockwise, so right to left. And whichever team cumulatively is closest to the centre with their 2 throws, they get the last stone advantage in the first end. So here that was Latvia. That's a very nice throw from Alicia Asnina. Began the competition as alternate, but it is a long path here. 12 sessions, 10 teams, hopefully followed by semi-finals and medal games. And not surprising to see both teams actually making use of their alternate player here. So curling legend Ina Forrest. She is on her 5th Paralympic Winter Games. Certainly the most experienced player in the field in wheelchair curling. Not too many people in any sport in Paralympic Winter Games have played at more events than she has.
Yeah, 2-7. Bit same as yours. Instead of up close to.
Latvia also experimenting a little bit with their lineup. Their alternate Alicia being brought in for this game. And that man in your picture, Rajas Rudis, does also play 3rd. And this game for 2nd. Traditionally, the person who's the skip, so the person holding the brush, deciding the strategy, traditionally they typically throw 4th as well, but you don't have to.
Yeah,
okay. That's a nice throw from the skipper there. You can chat to your coaches.
Okay.
That's a fairly recent addition to the rules or adjustment of the rules. It used to be you were not allowed coach interaction until half-time or timeouts when the coach comes to the ice. But now you can, so you'll see both teams chatting to their coaching benches. Ina Forrest immediately neutralising that danger. That was a good throw from Latvia, and Canada not interested in letting that lie around. Good work from her. familiar throwing style in wheelchair curling. You have the player at the front, and you have ice player assistants sprinkled all over the ice rink, and they manage the stones, so they will put a stone in front of the player, they will clean the bottom of the stone and then put the stone in front of the player, and then one of your teammates, they will typically just hold on to your wheels, you put your brake on, and then you just typically hold on to your wheels and make sure you don't slip backwards when you're releasing the stone forwards. First throw of the game for Canada's third, John Thurston. Teammates supporting him, just holding onto his wheels as he throws the stone, and then typically you will see the teammates with a stopwatch as well. We'll discuss what they're doing with that.
Nice shot, John.
This is some very sharp shooting from Canada. And what a lovely throw from John Thurston. Welcome to the game, sir. He removes that yellow, and look at this for a roll. He rolls right in behind everything. And it is that red from John Thurston that is currently closest to centre and currently in scoring position. Linda Magere. She started the competition throwing second, but she and the skipper, they have switched positions for this game. So she's now throwing third. Just wants to get close to that red. That's going to run on a little bit high though. Get a feel for the ice with that throw.
So he was 3-5 there.
It's one of the rules in wheelchair curling. You'll see both men and women on the wheelchair curling teams, and that is a rule in wheelchair curling. You must have at least one man and one woman. And the rest of your team, so your other two teammates on the ice, and potentially an alternate player as well. That can be anyone. We'll always see men and women represented in wheelchair curling.
Curl.
Good.
Canada seem to have taken that last shot draw, the Latvia one to get last stone in the first end. They seem to have taken that personally.
Okay.
Just peppering the house with red stones.
Brauc klāt, Linda. Jā?
Okay, cik spēkā? 3-0,
3-5, 3-2.
3-5, 3-2, okay.
Tā, man rādīja.
The good news for Latvia fans, there is still plenty of space to get Latvian stones into play. Very early doors here. It's just the first end, no score yet. Canada, they're really just trying to put pressure on Latvia. Canada doesn't need to score with their red stones in this first end. They're really just putting red stones into play to try to put pressure on Latvia, and also just to cut down the scoring area, so forcing Latvia to be very accurate with their throws. And that was a brave effort from Linda Magere.
Nice.
She did correct from her first stone. Her first stone was a little bit high, going through to the back ring there at the bottom of our screen, but that's just coming up a little bit short. And I think
Throw it from center.
3 red stones
center.
currently counting.
You guys like, okay.
That's the view from the throwing end. Still plenty of space.
Top 12 on the center line if we can get
Not
there.
panic stations for
You
Latvia.
seeing this for brim?
Oh, yeah.
Like the brim?
Yeah. Thinking like 4-0. 4-0 in this path.
First throw of the game for
4-0.
the Canadian skip, Mark Idison. He's also a very experienced player. He played in 3 Paralympic Winter Games and 5 World Championships. He's hot on the heels of Ina Forrest for most representations.
John, Mark.
And that is a great shot. Why is that such a good shot? Well, as we said, Canada doesn't need to score points here.
Which
They're
does
not
he
necessarily
prefer,
trying to score points.
Does he prefer?
They're trying to prevent Latvia from scoring points. We were saying throughout the end, yeah, don't panic, Latvia fans. There's still lots of space to put Latvian stones into play. And that shot from Mark Idison, that has really blocked the path to the centre for Latvia. And that's why that's such a good shot from him. There we are. That was a nice big gap there in the centre. And now there's a stone in the way. So challenge already for Latvian fourth thrower.
Yeah, 35 to 36. Yeah.
Sergei Jachenko. Yeah, deep breath.
Steppers. Right there.
Do the stopping. His path is perfect. Squeaky in behind that, so that's just running on a bit, but he knows that path through the gap. That was very effective. And he will hope to get a second chance at that path and just adjust the weight of the stone, not throw it quite so fast next time.
Same feel, eh? Same feel?
Two stones left then. Mark Idison.
Center solid.
I imagine Canada will be going for something similar here. Like we said, they don't need to score points here. They just want to prevent Latvia scoring, and that's exactly what they've done. So the same idea, they just try to block the path that Latvia used with their previous stone there, and really just trying to make life difficult. So definitely objective has been met for Canada in this first end.
Kaut kā 2-5. 2-5.
A wall of stones out front, very difficult for Latvia to get a yellow around the back of all of those.
Oh, yeah.
Jachenko then facing quite a pressure shot already here in the first end.
Yeah, 2-5.
Certainly Canada line 2 reds closest to centre. I think it's 3. Big pressure on the young man's shoulders. Nice. He's got to get round the guard though. has got to get round that guard. He's not going to. That is a real pity. I think the weight looked pretty good, actually. I think that was 3 red. Of course, fabulous start for Canada. Just trying to put pressure on Latvia, and that pressure is really bearing fruit there. Wow. Canada will be delighted with that.
Great start,
They have stolen 3 points. They got points even without last stone.
Really good.
Super start for them. It's Canada leading 3-0.
Good job, Gilbert.
Okay, Gil, we'll go with your out turn. You draw the button.
Yep.
Okay. Top button bullseye.
Back button.
Probably back button with up 3.
Back button bullseye.
Yeah, I like it.
Super start for Canada. Yeah, some real precision stuff. Just getting some red stones lying around, then blocking the access to the centre and putting too much pressure on Latvian final stones. Brave effort from their 4th thrower, Sergei Strychenko, but it is 3 Canadian stones that count after the first end.
How's that look? How much time? How much? And I'm thinking 2:15.
Super start for Canada.
Is that too much?
Stealing 3, getting points without last stone in the first end.
You can go.
Okay.
Latvia need to just keep their concentration. We have plenty of ends left. We play 8 ends in wheelchair curling. If scores are tied after 8 ends, we will play an extra end. We must have a winner.
Should be fine.
Plenty of time left for Latvia to grab those points back.
Nice shot. 13-1.
We just need to focus on stone by stone, step by step.
Center end.
They still have last stone in this second end. Whichever team gets points, they give up the hammer, they give up last stone. Canada, who scored points in that first end, so Latvia retain hammer in the second.
It's okay.
That's a nice start from Alicia Ajnina. She could have played that stone a little harder and got the stone into the rings, but she didn't want to do that. She wanted it a little bit short of the rings where it is, and that's because of the rule about the free guard zone. So all of the area ahead of the T line, the thin horizontal line, all of that area outside the rings, that is the free guard zone. And that means any stone in that area is protected until 5 stones have been thrown. You can move the stone, but you can't go out of play. So Canada can't just remove that yellow stone from Latvia. You see them just ignoring it. And that's why that's where Alicia Ajnina wanted that stone. Any stone within the rings in the house
first one,
could be removed immediately. And that is super play from Gil Dash from Canada. Same objectives here for Canada in the second end. They really just want to frustrate Latvia, just try to block scoring opportunities for them. Gil Dash has set it up very effectively. If Latvia wants to score anything, at some point they will have to do something about those reds. Is this stone going to hang on? It is. Oh! Beautiful smile from
Like 3-5.
Alicia Ajnina. First stone, not quite. The path was perfect. You can see it's directly in behind that nice guard she threw with her first stone.
3-7.
Top 12, you think?
Just
Tight
slipping
guard,
on
if
a
it
little bit
slips on, that's good.
too far for her.
You said tight guard or slip on?
Okay.
14?
Yeah, 375.
Yeah, I like it.
They're just then doing the right thing,
3-9.
blocking up that centre.
Really good.
Two lovely throws from Gil Dash. And Ina Forrest just blocking access to the two throws on the centre.
Shot on. It's a beauty.
And yeah, big smiles from Canada. They have really leapt into this game. And Latvia, they really need to weather this storm, keep the concentration. They really want to just make sure they score something in this second end, steady the ship. Plenty of ends left to get points back.
Yeah. Pocket.
Jā. Tas stiprais būs, jā.
Ko tu saki?
Stiprais būs, jā.
Latvia then, they don't want to get so focused in this early stage. They don't want to get so focused on trying to get 2 or 3 points back that they miss the chance to even make 1 point back. So I think this is the right idea. We don't want to let Canada control that centre area too much. So I think this is a good idea. Let's just take off the cover, remove that guard, and then we have access again to the centre. Canada, though, they have not really done a thing wrong at this early stage of the game. And this looks like another nice throw for Ina Forrest.
Shot on.
She's done that beautifully. You can see that red exactly in line
Good weight.
with the 2 in the forefoot.
Good work.
And yeah, just keep it simple at the moment, Latvia. We've plenty of ends left. Yeah, just keep it simple, open up that access again.
Shower up, Sergei. Sergei, shower up.
Canada on 3 wins out of 3 so far. Latvia on 1 win out of 3. And that's a nice throw from the skipper. And Ina Forrest having a good battle. That second throw. That can be a helpful way of thinking of your game.
So,
Team
like
4 players.
4-5?
Each player throws 2 stones, and you throw your stone, then your opposition throws theirs. You throw your second stone, and your opposition throws their second stone. So you can think of it as a battle per position as well. And if you really focus on outplaying your opposition, your direct opposition, that can be a helpful way to manage your game. And we are now at the battle of the third throwers. It is John Thurston from Canada. Did that lovely setup from Phil Dash with his first 2 stones. Canada's life quite easy at the moment. They just keep putting another stone in the centre, right in the way, blocking the path. Yeah, keep removing it.
Maybe. Third one down the path.
Probably have to.
Labi. Var no tās puses, var. Vajag, lai drusku pārkrīt.
Yeah, keep it simple, Latvia. At the moment, this end looks unlikely to result in an opportunity to make 2 points, and we don't want to get into such a muddle that we can't even score 1. This then is the right idea. Make sure we can have an opportunity to score 1, and this is the right way to do that. Linda Legere asked for a similar shot then, just remove that red. Squeaked around that one though, and removed one of the reds in the 4-foot circle. Not quite what she wanted. But that does open up a different path now to the centre. Yeah, she really wanted to pick off that red that was right in front. Open up the access again. Because guess what Canada's about to do? Actually, this is the conservative approach. In fact, Canada just removing that Latvian throw rather.
Job, John.
Sorry. I thought Canada would persist with playing towards the centre there. Just doing the conservative thing, making sure that minimising the opportunities for Latvia to score. But yeah, that does mean that things are slightly easier now for Latvia. They just have 1 stone in the centre. Definitely easier to get the 1 point from this situation. So this is better from Linda Magere. Yeah, no trouble with that. That little yellow just hanging on. Lovely shot from her.
I think we know the path. Or you think you can change it?
Wide open.
Okay.
They're wide open. Is it wide open?
No. Oh, wrong turn there, Mark.
What way?
You guys like this or the guard?
What, you taking a run at that?
Hey, I'm just gonna chase it. Or do you like the guard?
We hear Canada discussing
We hold our position if we guard, right? If we
the 2
chase
objectives or 2 possibilities.
we don't roll in, they just take ours off.
Yeah, and that's okay. Let's guard.
I think
I like
guard. It's a great rock to guard.
Guard.
So they changed their mind.
Here?
2 possibilities.
Like that,
If you remove that yellow, that means there's no more yellows lying in the house, and that's one way to minimise Latvia's scoring opportunity. The other way is this way, which is what Canada has been doing most of the end, and that is to guard the stone already in the house.
Yeah, pinched it.
This is the more aggressive approach. It's a higher risk, and that means if you get it wrong, there is still a yellow lying around in the house.
4-8.
And that's overcurled a little bit. it's not directly in front of his red. And yeah, look at frustration from Mark Iverson. Because that does mean that fourth thrower for Latvia, Sergei Jachenko, he will be able to see most of that red stone. Is this the opportunity that Latvia have been patiently waiting for?
10 ar puse.
That's the view for Jachenko from his end. To make it around the guard. But it's wiggled its way in very nicely. For a plan B, that's not too bad. You see, it doesn't quite make it around the guard. But certainly found quite a happy spot there.
His yellow shot?
His yellow shot? Who's shot?
From our view,
shot.
yeah, red is shot.
We are.
I don't know.
But certainly, yeah, that red getting a bit lonely in there.
I don't know if you should hit the red one right there.
I wouldn't hit ours with a shot.
You like that? Yeah, then do it.
I
If
don't
you
know
like
the
it, do it.
double.
What do you like? Here?
I don't like ours with a shot.
You don't like the hit? I told them.
Patient play from Latvia in this end, just waiting for a bit of a half shot, a bit of a loose shot from Canada, and they did finally get it. Canada with a chance to clear up here with their final throw. And then we will see
Center solid.
what opportunities there are for Latvia.
Out of there.
Well now,
Tough one, Mark. Didn't go.
Threw that really well.
there's no one
Mark.
to
Too much
curl.
ice.
that was really coming in at pace, that stone, and the faster the stone is going, the less opportunity it has to curl. So maybe a little bit of a slower stone there would have served Canada better. Give it a chance to curl onto that red, pop the yellow out, and look at that for a situation. I said a few stones ago, it didn't look like Latvia were going to have an opportunity for two, but they've patiently played the right tactic. All they can do is play the right stones, try to get a loose shot from Canada, and they've had two loose shots now in this second end, and what an opportunity for Sergei Jachenko. Oh, he doesn't like it. He doesn't like it. Oh, that has overcurled, and that's a real pity. Big opportunity for Latvia to level the score there, but the stone just overcurling for him. That's really a pity. Big difference in wheelchair curling, of course. You don't have sweepers to help. Sweepers would have helped keep that stone on line, but that is a steal of 1 point. Lucky you, Canada. A steal of 1 point to them. It is 4-0 after two ends.
We got lucky.
More of the same?
Yeah, I think
Keep going.
Which turn?
those two good ones, Joe. So,
Out turn?
what are you feeling?
Whichever turn.
I think we know the end.
Perfect setup from Gildash. Latvia working hard to try to get an opportunity. And they did have yellows lying around Latvia, but finally Sergei Jachenko, his final stone just over curling. No sweepers in wheelchair curling. Once that stone's on its way, you can't affect it anymore, and lucky Canada, it is a steal of one for them. They lead Latvia 4-0.
Time's running.
Sorry, I won't snuggle up so quick. Man.
Can I throw?
Yeah, you can.
Gildash starting us off again. The little hammer
Off, guys.
in the graphic stays with Latvia.
Sorry.
Whichever team got points in the previous end, they give up hammer to their opposition. So it's still Latvia who have the hammer. We saw Gildash
Screen is, so if you can see the blue
just
screen,
saying
you
he
can throw.
Above our.
slipped a little bit with that delivery.
I can see it.
He really wanted that, but pretty much as we saw in the last end. So he wants the stones right in the middle. But playing towards the centre, that still works for Canada. Otherwise, we see Alicia Ajina. She now has an opportunity to get to that centre area first. This is nice from her. Going, keep going, keep going, keep going. That is a very nice effort from the Latvian lead. Oh dear, this is known as the peel of shame. This is awfully conservative from Canada, but
It's a straight peel, right?
Straight peel, yeah.
it is a straight peel. It's a highly conservative strategy here, but Canada feeling that, yeah, any guard out front, it's really just helping Latvia. Canada are +4.
That'll be good, Gil. Nice
No
throw.
guards in
Really
play
good, Gil.
makes their life a bit easier. So Gildash just being asked to remove the stone that he played there first. That wasn't quite where he wanted his first shot, and just removing it with a second.
Nice throw. It's a beauty, buddy.
But that does leave that nice Latvian stone from Alicia. And she being asked to put a second stone in the house. And what she will be looking for is to keep this yellow far away from the other yellow. She doesn't want to leave the yellow stones such that Canada could get rid of both of them in one throw. This just needs to stop, Oh, it's a couple of times that's happened now for Alicia Ajnina. She's frustrated with that. You can see how close she is to getting those two yellows in, but that's a pity for her that one just slipping on a little bit too high. And that does give Canada the opportunity to play it up here. That potentially could lead us to a fairly conservative end here in the third.
8-8.
No problem for Aina Forrest.
9-3. What'd you get?
8-8.
So we're a little
Grabbed
down.
her, she humped it.
Nice. Open hits, we call that. Nothing in the way. Open path. You can see the whole stone. Still early days for Latvia. They've still got plenty of time to get shots back. Just need to tighten up a little bit on their shots. They played a good end in the second end. Not quite finishing it off, but they made themselves chances and they need to keep doing that. That is exactly where he wants the stone to land. The other option is to play towards that yellow at the back. Try to use that yellow as a little bit of cover. Looks like he's playing the clockwise handle. Turning the stone clockwise. And yeah, he just wants to try to use that red that Aina Forrest threw. Try to use that as a bit of cover, a bit of shelter. Just looks pretty nice. That is a lovely throw from the Latvian skipper. That is perfect. Look at that. That yellow. It's just a centimetre or two closer to the middle. Yeah, that yellow is closer than the red to centre. At least from our view. But it's sitting right on top of that red.
You're drawing one here,
And that means very difficult to get rid of that yellow without removing your own red. So that's a fabulous shot from Latvia. That should cheer up everyone in the team, give them good confidence.
Nice shot, huh?
And Forrest being asked to just play to the other side of the sheet. She's done that beautifully. She's not missing much today.
So they just feel like
Forrest.
they're not going to make it when you let it go. It's like,
He had 3.
The simple idea. This third end building in a different way to the first two.
Well.
Don't have stones out front. All the stones being played in the house. An opportunity for Latvia to make a junior 2, as we call it. The simplest way to make 2 points is to have 2 stones in the house. Wait for your opposition to miss, and then you end up with 2 points. It's not a particularly sophisticated strategy. But Canada being super conservative with their first throws, deciding they had missed their first throw and removing that. And that does give Latvia the opportunity to set up a junior 2. Then we shall be seeing fairly similar strategy from both teams. Hit their stones, stick around yourself.
8-9.
Removes the yellow, sticks around with the red. And really, all Canada can do just now is just keep making their shots, keep removing Latvian stones. Make sure the Canadian stones are lying around 2.
Yep.
And hope for a loose shot from Latvia. And not to blame Gildash, it's not really like that, but all of that just from a shot that didn't quite work out in that first end. Sorry, in the first throw. Not going to hang around though for Linda Magere. Got that yellow out front. That's still looking pretty safe there. It's still got that red right behind it. So she does remove the red. That's important. She really wanted that yellow to stick around as well. That's the half shot that Canada needed. And we can put another red in.
The same, so not too much more.
Okay, it's feeling flat in here. In the center.
Target practice for Canada. I always like these kind of shots. It's a fairly conservative end, not too many stones in play. And then you just get a bit of target practice. You just want to throw the stone front of house, front of tee line. John Thurston's done that pretty nicely.
Was it?
13:46.
create a little different path than Ina's.
The Latvian skip just having a look.
Yeah. You want to go right
Can be pretty hard to tell when all the stones are really close to the edge like this. It can be quite hard to tell who is closer, who's not. You cannot ask for a measure yet. If the end concludes and we're not sure which stones are closest to the centre, that's the point. You can ask the umpire, can you come and measure the stones, please?
Tas pirmais, otrais, trešais.
Actually, that gave us a chance to look at the stones as well. And that stone from John Thurston, close to us here in our picture, it wasn't as nice as I thought. I think that needed a few extra centimetres. It needed to be closer to centre than the two on the other side. And it isn't. And that gives Linda Magere a chance to sneak another yellow in behind it. This is what Latvia need to do. Stone by stone, step by step. You won't get many mistakes from Canada. Canada have never failed to win a medal at Paralympics. Wheelchair curling introduced for the first time in 2006. And it was a different team, but it was Canada who got gold. They got the next two golds as well in 2010, 2014. The past two Paralympics in 2018 and 22, they've got bronze. Now, Linda Magere doesn't quite like the look of that stone. But for our objectives here in the third end, I think she's fine. Latvia still setting up nicely to try to grab 2 points, and that will get them right back into this game.
Center just full.
Good throw, Mark. Oh, what the hell? Where is it going?
Ooh, that stone curling. Ooh, has got just enough of that yellow.
Good, Mark.
Did that go away?
Doesn't get it, the yellow out of play, but he doesn't need to. He just needs to push it further away. But yeah, that red just starting to curl on them. Not catching as much of the yellow as he wanted, but catching enough.
No šitais pirmais, mums trešais.
Otrais mums.
Quite important for Team Latvia to understand what's going on here, who's closest. That will really influence which shot they want to play now.
Ja tu viņu izsit, viņš tev parulē uz vidu, tam mums ir divi. Tā mēs sitam vai braucam iekšā? Nu, lai brauc iekšā. Braucam iekšā.
I think the same shot that they just played, actually. So going towards the left of our screen.
Tu vari aizķert, ja? Vari aizķert.
Or you can do it the other way, yeah. You can hit that red and just hang around yourself. That works too. So yeah, their ideal shot would be to really sneak in behind that red on the left of our screen. Or just remove that red and replace it with a yellow.
Nē, mums otrais. Tur pirmais mums, pēc tam viņam.
Mēs nevaram to asist.
Nevajag.
Negribēju.
Nevajag.
Tik šauri?
Mēs braucam ar to sarkanu. Varam nočikot viņu arī.
Big opportunity then for fourth thrower Sergei Jachenko to put some pressure on Canada. Canada really having a perfect start to this game.
Nočikos.
Just wants that to settle now. Just sit down, sit down. And it does. Lovely throw from Sergei Jachenko. And now I'm sure we will see the Canadian team having a good look at all the stones.
Like the ice.
Third end setting up quite differently to the previous ends. No stones in the centre. Stones really grabbing onto the 12-foot circle. That's the blue one. And even though we're all metric now, we will still hear hurlers of all varieties talking about the 12-foot, the 8-foot and the 4-foot circle. That's the blue, white and green respectively.
I think he's okay.
He is okay. That stone from Mark Idison has done just enough to hang on at the back.
Are my rocks like this?
But I think Latvia will be able to see all of that red stone. Yeah, you don't need to
По центру лінії.
Ну, я.
2-0.
2-0, ja.
Він п'ється.
You just want to punch that red back.
Yeah, okay.
1 or 2 stones worth. That's the view. So yeah, we can't see all of it from the throwing end. Probably maybe 90%. And critical that this yellow from Sergei Strachenko, critical for him that this yellow also wants to hang around. So big opportunity here. They're making their chances, Latvia. Just need to finish them off. It's tough throwing fourth. It's not for everyone. It's not that your shots are more difficult necessarily. It's just that there's big pressure on these shots. Stone's curling too much. And that is not going to work for Latvia. They're really making their chances, Latvia, but just not quite finishing them off. That will be a score of 1 red again. That red just thrown by Mark Idison. You're doing the hard work, Latvia. You're making your chances, but you need to start finishing those off. That will be a steal of 1 to Canada in the third end, and they lead 5-0.
Just wondered if your first one's not getting the way it's clean on you.
Yeah.
So,
well, it did on going that way. That intern going that
but
way.
it's too good center, and center to full, slightly full. Just full.
No, the intern hit going that way.
That way was
That was my last.
Good play again from Latvia, but not quite finishing off their chances. Had yellow stones in play, but a very nice insurance shot from Mark Idison. And their final throw over curling for Latvia. And yeah, maybe talk to the coach about how to just tighten up these shots, really make use of these chances. They've got stones in play. They're getting some loose shots from Canada. But it is Canada leading Latvia.
I felt better about that one.
Center.
I felt better about the weight.
12-2.
Stop.
Is it staying in?
Gildash determined not to throw a guard this time.
Back 12. So like
That stone's slipping a little bit long, but
12.75.
No,
it
but
is
I will.
important
I
that
think
he
you
doesn't
start to
throw a
know.
guard.
His rotation rate is a little lower too. It's okay. It's not.
You need to start finishing off these chances, Latvia.
It's a baby.
So unlike Canada, Latvia are happy to play a guard. They're happy to have a stone out front there. That's a stone they can hide behind later. And that stone protected by free guard zone. Canada not allowed to move that stone out of play.
3-0.
That's a good start from Alicia Ajnina.
There you go.
Too much.
Oh, you got out to it, though.
Back house.
Oh,
Just
Dash
last year last.
kind of looks perpetually bemused by things.
2-5.
He thinks this is
12-5.
coming in hot. I think it probably is as well.
3 down 2.
But
Good
again,
go.
important for Canada
In
is
8-foot.
not to leave guards out front. They're +5.
Nice and positive. Good talk.
And as we said, guards out front, that's really only helping Latvia. That's stones they can hide behind. And that's a much better plan B for Gil Dash. Just having the stone a little bit longer rather than being a bit too short. We've seen this kind of setup play before from Alicia Ajnina. She's played the guard and now she just wants to get a yellow in behind it. Latvia, you need to stop doing that. Everything about this setup play is perfect. It's just a metre too long at the end. There's her lovely guard out front. Here's the stone curling in on the perfect line. Just not managing to hang on. That would be frustrating for Alicia. She's doing a lot of good work out there. Not quite managing. Just take that extra metre off the stones.
Showdown. Did you get?
And the Forest having a super game out there.
Oh, Gillen 2-9.
She has hardly missed a thing. But still opportunities in this fourth end for Latvia. Very important that they have that guard out front, played by Alicia Ajnina. There are Canadian stones lying around, but there's plenty of space. There is access to the centre of the sheet here. And there is plenty of space behind that yellow guard as well. Can they bring that yellow guard back into play? Get some Latvian stones hiding in behind. And start building points there. To move the res, that's good. He doesn't quite find the roll in behind the guard, but first things first, plenty of stones still to come. He gets rid of one red, touches all three of them, and his yellow is now in front of those reds, and that adds a degree of difficulty to remove it. If you get the angle wrong on this yellow, it might just pop straight back into all those reds.
Come to the broom. Should
Still
curl
hang
here,
around.
right?
Should curl, yeah.
So again, good setup play from Latvia. They're creating chances.
Showdown.
Ina Forest using all of her angles there. Just squeezing that yellow out. Yeah, she wouldn't mind too much, even if she would take her own red with her. Objectives really still the same. It's still Latvia who have last stone advantage. They want to try and get yellow stones into play. Make it difficult for Canada to remove them. And Canada, they just want to do the reverse. They don't want yellow stones in play. And they want to try to limit Latvia's scoring opportunities. Tojar's lead is going for something similar. And he has played exactly the same again. Not quite finding the roll. You can see the yellow guard on the left of our screen up at the top. Perfect would be to roll in behind that guard, but again,
Right, yeah,
stone by
yours
stone.
didn't do much. Yours didn't do much.
We are nearly at the halfway turn. In session 5, we are well into the round robin stage of the wheelchair curling event at Paralympic Winter Games. This is the 4-person traditional rules event. We also, for the first time, are playing mixed doubles. That's a lovely shot from John Thurston.
Very good.
Moving that yellow and rolling away from the centre himself. Making it harder for Latvia to use that red stone now, so that's a good throw from him.
Tik šauri. Nevajag platāk. Ojār, nevajag platāk.
Yeah, Latvia have no choice really. There are a bunch of Canadian stones hanging around,
Bet nevajag platāk.
but it doesn't help Latvia anymore to hit those red stones. This is the right idea. Let's try to use that guard that's been patiently waiting. You get a nice yellow right in behind that guard. That puts the pressure back on Canada. So this is the right idea. Not quite round the guard, but our weight is lovely. So she's going to get a stone nice and close to the rings. And that's a dangerous stone, that yellow. Linda Angeli looking contemplative. But that's not a bad result. That's found a decent spot,
So
that
you,
yellow.
You know the time on mine there.
And this is interesting.
Yeah, I had
That is a very
3-0
dangerous
on
yellow.
yours, yeah.
I would
And
remove
that felt
it,
like that?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
but I'm from the
I'll be
1980s.
nice and positive.
My style of play is uber conservative. And that's not how you win games these days, so it's much more interesting for us viewers to have some more aggressive tactics with stones in play. Not just removing stones to keep it clear, keep everything easy. And a courageous call from Canada. Going behind that dangerous yellow. And he's done that very nicely, John Thurston. You can see, yeah, that yellow was very dangerous. If this red stone, if that had curled a little bit too much, it might have pushed the yellow in instead. So a courageous call. And he is rewarded with a very nice throw.
Still feels a little heavy, like I'd say that's 2-2.
Okay.
This Latvian team really quickly gaining experience at this level. They qualified for Paralympic Winter Games for the first time 4 years ago in Beijing in 2022. So this is their second time now at Paralympics, this team.
Oh, sucks.
They have been 9th, 5th and 12th at the 3 most recent World Championships for wheelchair curling. And I tell you, not easy to stay in the top group in World Wheelchair
Just
Curling.
Top 8, like it's
Highly competitive.
looking slower.
So I think you
Latvia
can be
really
max
building.
in this.
And I think it just feels like a
Building a good CV here in
I think you
wheelchair
can be
curling.
max full in this.
And they do still have
Top 4.
plenty of time and ends in this game to turn things around. just need to finish their chances. Canada providing no relief. They are relentless this morning. As I said, Canada, they don't have to score points actually. They are +5. Their objective is simply to prevent Latvia scoring points. But one way of doing that is to get to the centre first. Just block that scoring area. Ooh, now the dangerous yellows are coming into play.
Oh, yeah. Came right out there.
Hey.
Oh, lucky you, Mark Idison. No harm done. The team does have a coach interaction if they want. Both teams have a 1 minute timeout available. You stop your game clock, so your thinking time is currently ticking. And if you want, you can stop the clock, ask for a coach interaction, and your coach will come down to the side of the ice for 1 minute discussion. Definitely still options for Latvia. There are a lot of Canadian stones lying around. So he really wants a nice throw here with his first shot. Does you guys Jachenko.
Oh,
but yeah, he's very curly.
3-0.
You can still get around those yellows and maybe get all the way to the red in the forfeit. Through here to set himself up with a chance. He wants to get just around these guards. He's not quite going to. I think the weight was quite nice. And again, if I could have magicked some sweepers onto that stone, I think we'd have got it perfectly.
New path.
Yeah,
But it is tough in wheelchair curling. You don't have sweepers. You're using upper body strength for every shot. So foot players, they're using
Don't really want to open
most
it
of
up
the
for
power
them
from their
either.
shot comes from leg drive. And for wheelchair players, all of their power comes from upper body strength only. And it's just an added degree of difficulty for the same shot in wheelchair curling rather than in foot player.
Center, center.
Slipping on a little bit high.
Oh, sorry.
A couple of options then. Still open for
Got a better
Latvia.
ride
They
out
could
there. Yeah. My rock
play
shot is totally
the
different.
clockwise handle again.
Hey?
Just
Use
ran
those
nice
yellows.
there.
Or, yeah, they've just seen the path that Canada played there on the anti-clockwise handle. And there is definitely a path towards the centre on this side of the sheet. Last throw of the fourth end and the first half of our featured game in session 5. It is Canada against Latvia. Canada really not doing a lot wrong. Oh no, and that red is also a danger. Oh dear.
Oh.
That is a disaster. And And yeah, I think Latvia will welcome this half-time break. There's nothing going right for them. They're setting up okay. They're giving themselves chances, but yeah, not quite managing to finish those chances off. And that is a big score of 4 there for Canada. And yeah, Canada really not doing much wrong. A big steal of 4, and at the halfway, it is Canada 9, Latvia 0.
Yes.
Not different, but I think he's always kind of forward. But I think by the time he throws, he's in kind of good pass anyways.
Yeah.
So we might not see it, but I definitely didn't want to give 1 because I think we'll see a big change.
Well, and these times have
Yeah,
been
he just got a better ride out there, eh? Like I threw a 2-2. Like my 2-2 line.
That 12 on the clock.
Yeah, that's what I had said.
Yeah, that 2 just looks grabby on you, so.
Yeah.
Bang, let's get rid of
It's
your
not
first rock.
matching them.
We're doing both.
Because
Okay.
I think it'll be too different.
Yeah, at minimum, I think let's get rid of this one.
Really solid first half. Nice pivots on ends where we got good setups or where we had a few rocks in play. You just kind of went for it. Really like it. Starting to see some grab in the middle, so don't forget about pulling the rock off the line for your draws. We forgot a couple times after the third, so clock we're good, but we're not swimming. So just ensuring that we're
well above them, but
stay ready for your first because you're up first, like you've been doing. Make sure you're throwing within a 10-second window. And leave when you can, Mark. John, I would do your deliberate, like your quicker setups when possible. And you just got to leave a little earlier or leave before. We're
There
not
is
bad on the clock, but
the summary of Team Canada at the moment. Look at that, Ina Forrest. I thought she'd barely miss anything, and she hasn't.
yeah.
Well, she and John Thurston,
Anything else?
the middle order there,
Just really like to make a
just
shot.
piling the pressure on Latvia.
This pass just now, and it was quite heavy.
Все игры. И не
There are
бейтесь, как
plenty of foot
хотите.
players who have a lower degree of difficulty for their shots. They have sweepers to help. They can use leg drive. They can adjust their delivery. They are not making that sort of accuracy.
Так вы играете, я не играю. Это ничего не даст.
Nu, bet paskaties uz savu šito, nu, tā kā...
There's the picture for Latvia. Yeah, just a lot of tough shots being attempted by Sergei Shevchenko, but he's not quite finding the line. He's having a bit of a game to forget at the moment. And important then is confidence from here. We're in session 5 out of 12. Plenty more games out there for Latvia. This game is maybe just not going their way today, but plenty more games to come. But what a performance, especially from the Canadian middle order. Ina Forrest and John Thurston. They are just not missing. Canada really keeping it simple for themselves. They have been throwing first in every end. It's Latvia who have had last stone. And Canada really just, trying to get Canadian stones in play. Try to block Latvia from scoring. Just keeping it simple, Canada. And that's been very effective for them. Fine throw from John Thurston. And it's typically the way when everything's coming up Canada, then you can't miss a shot. And for poor Latvia, it becomes a bit the reverse. Just nothing's working for you. And important for Sergei Shevchenko is to not let his confidence go down too much. Let's try to finish this game strong, stone by stone. But really telling the story of the game there. Canada vastly out-throwing Latvia. And all 9 points, in fact. stolen points. They have had last stone since the start of the game, Latvia, but not quite finishing off their chances. They need to finish strong in this second end. That's where we are now. Everything coming up Canada. And they're playing really nice, just simple shots.
Jeez, that seems deep.
Keeping it simple.
Solid.
Trying to frustrate Latvia, and
Where are we?
Latvia playing some nice stuff, but not quite finishing their chances. Important then for Latvia, a big mountain to climb here. 9 points behind.
1275. Nice rock.
Important for them
1275.
is to just rebuild confidence. Let's throw some nice stones here in this second half. And even if this game is a bit beyond us, let's throw nice stones here and take confidence to the next session. We have plenty of games left. We're not even at the halfway point for the round robin in four-person wheelchair curling.
This in feet now.
You have a win on the board, Latvia. It is a long journey through the round robin. And we've seen exactly this kind of setup before.
So 2-6.
You see Canada throwing a stone straight into the rings.
Probably the same feel here, Gil.
Alicia Ajnina. She's having a decent game. Just setting up some stones for her teammates, but her teammates are not quite finding a way to use them to their best advantage today. And Gil Dash also having a really nice game. Just putting stones there in the house. If Latvia want to score anything, at some point, they need to deal with the red stones thrown by Gil Dash. There's Alicia Ajnina's percentage. Important to understand with the percentages is that the percentage accuracy, it is the system is really devised for foot players. Alicia, you need to stop doing that. Just take a meter off your stones. Just ever so slightly overthrowing them.
Okay.
So 13-2.
Yeah, important to understand with the percentage accuracy here in wheelchair game, the percentage system. It comes from every stone being
12-7 on Gills.
scored out of 4.
12-7. 12-7 on that.
Okay.
Like
Each
3-5.
game has a statistician watching, and the statistician
3-3.
looks at what is being asked. Speaking of percentages, look at that. That is outstanding for Minor Forest. But the statistician for each game, they look at each shot being played and they mark it out of 4. So if you get it perfectly, they'll give you 4 points out of 4. If it's pretty close, they will give you 3 points out of 4.
12-7, I got it.
If it's helpful but not quite right, say you hit and roll instead of hit and stick, you'll get 2 points out of 4 and so on.
I had 12-7.
12-7.
But important to understand is that that system was developed for foot players, non-wheelchair players. And as we've discussed, the foot players, there are multiple reasons why achieving accuracy in the foot player game is easier than achieving accuracy in the wheelchair game. I'm not a wheelchair user, I'm a foot player. And when I throw a stone, I have 2 teammates sweeping for me. And I can also use leg drive to get all the power for my shots. I don't need to rely on upper body strength. And I also have a few seconds after I've kicked out. If I've kicked out from the hack too quickly, I can try to take some pace off the stone. If I've kicked out too slowly, and maybe give it a bit of an extra shove. And all of those are advantages to the foot player. That means achieving accuracy it's simply much easier for them. So don't be too fooled by the percentages that we see in the wheelchair game. Not quite finding the curl on that one though, Latvia. And really making Canada's life quite easy at the moment.
Yeah, I like it.
Ina Forrest continuing to be a one-woman army out there.
Gotta adjust now.
4B?
Yeah.
And I think
the second probably.
Canada really showing that there's no reason why wheelchair players can't play at the club with foot players, and indeed that's exactly what happens. At my club we do have a dedicated wheelchair club as well, but the wheelchair players, they play in the club championship in all the competitions, and you can too, even if you are the only wheelchair user at your club. And I know people who are the only wheelchair user at their club. And yeah, imagine if you had Ina Forrest in your team at the club, you would not notice any difference between having Ina in your team and a foot player. And at the club, really, wheelchair curling highly inclusive, very normal for foot players and wheelchair players to play all together. You don't even need to have a dedicated wheelchair section. You can join right in with everyone else. You don't need any adjustment to your day-to-day chair. You don't need to have your own delivery stick. The club will have that, and you can use theirs. And don't be shy. Even if you're the only wheelchair player at your club, you absolutely can join in with everyone else. John Thurston also just shooting the lights out there.
Canada slightly.
Of course, I shouldn't have said that, because now that's about the first shot he hasn't completed perfectly. That red is curling a little bit too much, not finding the right angle. The yellow getting caught on the Canadian stone. And Latvia need to use this chance now. This yellow lying shot there, the yellow on the left of our screen. Here's the overhead, that is the closest to the centre.
Kā tu gribi? Ja tu liekas, ka tu vari piebraukt, tad tu brauc, izdomā to, ko tu vari izdarīt, un daram.
Either Latvia need to protect that yellow, or they need to get a second yellow in to keep it company. And I don't speak Latvian, so I'm not sure what the discussion is. There's typically in curling, it's not about a right or a wrong shot. If you're making all your shots, every shot's the right shot. It's Typically, the discussion is more, you'll hear people talk about their percentage shot, and that means the shot that's most likely to be successful. Can also be player specific, so it just depends how confident a player is with two different options.
Paga Pedro. Sagaste bag too.
Taking quite a long time over the shot, Latvia. They need to keep an eye on their clock. Both teams have 38 minutes of thinking time. And if you run out of time, it doesn't matter what the game situation is, you forfeit the game. Stone's just over calling for her. She wanted to connect with the reds and just hang around. Stone probably passed the reds. She wanted to just connect with the reds, and then the yellow would be sitting right in front of them. It's quite often the way, if you spend a long time discussing a shot, sometimes it can really disturb your rhythm a bit. I don't favour long discussions. I'm not even that keen on timeouts. I think typically you're best to just keep on playing, keep the rhythm. No problem for John Thurston. A mistake from Latvia means that Canada can clean up. That's the kind of thing Latvia were looking for. Just connect right in the centre of the stone and leave your own stone lying there. Still the right shot. They're going for the same again. Yes, they are. I still like that shot. I think that's the best way to try to get points here. Just to use those two reds that are behind the tee line. This looks better for Linda Magere. That's more like it. That's what she was looking for. So that yellow is now closest to centre, and crucially, it has two reds right behind it. Here it comes. Yeah, she doesn't need to play that a big weight. She doesn't really want to move those reds. She quite likes the reds being just behind the yellow, because that means it's hard for Canada to remove them.
I like the out.
Okay.
About 6 inches. Yeah, probably a touch more.
Needs to nose it probably, eh? Here, Mark?
Yeah, just off a bit. You can just keep it straight. So we're gonna try to just, nose is good.
Nose is good, yeah.
Yeah, and we'll try to pick it out of there if we can. Looks tough.
Latvia finally putting a bit of pressure on Canada. Not easy to remove this yellow with those two reds right behind it. This is important for Latvia. A big mountain to climb in this game, so it's really important to finish with good shots. Make sure they take confidence into the next game, and that is exactly why that was such a good shot from Linda Magere of Latvia. Those two reds behind her yellow doing exactly the job she wanted them to. See, no way through for that yellow. It just goes straight into the red, and it is now still yellow who is lying short. That's more like it. This is the kind of finish that Latvia need. This game, a bit of a mountain to climb, but let's get some just nice, steady, good shots in these last few ends. Steady the confidence and keep that forward for the rest of the round robin. So guys, Jachenko just having a bit of a nightmare today. Particularly important for him to make some nice shots here. Curling really much a confidence game. And if you have a really bad day, it can really shake your confidence. So particularly important for him to just try to finish. That's getting better.
Winston! Same turn.
So that would be a 2 out of 4 shot, a 50% shot. He removed the Canadian stone, but his own yellow rolled out. So he would get 50% for that shot. But never forget, all stones in wheelchair curling, all shots have a higher degree of difficulty than the same shot for a foot player. All shots are more difficult to be accurate with. If you're a wheelchair player, no sweepers, no adjustment on delivery, and upper body strength for these big throws. That's a nice throw from him. Now that's got a lovely roll as well.
Really nice. 8-9.
Yeah, no reds to hang on to that yellow this time. And that popping through the back. Well, that red stone fully in the 12-foot, the blue circle. That one is certainly lying short, scoring at the moment. Latvia sensibly just ignoring all of those stones. You have the whole, almost the whole of the house to draw to. This is just like the last shot draw that we do before the game. And he just wants this one to just slow now. He just wants this one to stop. Oh, rather summing up Latvia's game, unfortunately. That is certainly a steal of 1 red. I think it's 2. And really critical that Jachenko doesn't just lose all his confidence. We all have days like this. And it's really important to just try to, stone by stone, keep it simple. But that was indeed a steal of 2 to Canada. And they continue to march on in this game. They lead 11-0. More sharp shooting from the Canadian middle order. Nice setup from Ojars Bridis and Linda Majeri of Latvia. And some good cleaning up from Canada, and the Latvian fourth thrower just not having a nice game, unfortunately. That was a steal of 2 to Canada. Yeah, we need to just keep each other, support each other here, Latvia. It is difficult throwing fourth. It's not for everyone. And that's why, because if you make a mistake, if you're first thrower or even 2 or 3, you have somebody is coming after you and they can fix that mistake. But if you're fourth thrower, no one is coming after you, and it's hard.
Yeah, right. I forgot that part.
It's not necessarily your best player who plays fourth. It's typically the player who can manage under that pressure. And actually it looks like Latvia are going to make a substitution. So this is Adelaida Kiliani coming on. And that makes sense. This game, a big mountain to climb. So important is really just to keep supporting each other. Let's just try to throw some nice stones here in the 6th end. Just settle the confidence. Plenty more games to come. So it looks like Elisa Ajina, she was playing lead in this game, so she has gone off, and it is Adelaida Kiliani who has come on. And you don't see that too often in curling. A player being substituted, essentially. Typically happens in this scenario when a game is a little bit one-sided, and the teams can use that either to switch things up a bit, or sometimes the team that's ahead will bring on their alternate player just to give them a chance to throw some stones, get used to the ice, get used to a game situation. It's quite rare though, simply because, similar to having long discussions, you really don't want to disturb the rhythm in a curling team. It doesn't really help to make a substitution.
We'll be back with the other one.
So either typically the situation is greatly in your favour, or the situation is greatly not in your favour, and you've kind of nothing to lose. So that was a bright start from Adelaida Kiliani. Just bringing some different energy onto the ice. Important that Latvian team support each other, keep each other's confidence, take confidence into the next game. And yeah, a very happy start for her. Her game percentage super duper with her first throw. And that stone is finally just hanging on in behind cover.
Yeah.
Elisa Ajnina, she was just struggling. She was playing the guard perfectly, but she was just struggling to get her stone in behind it.
3-2. I think 13 and a half.
So that's already better.
Back, yeah.
We're looking a bit glum, and really that this happens to all of us. All of us have days at the office like this when just nothing works, and it's very easy to come off such a game and think, gosh, I seem to have forgotten entirely how to play curling. And curling is such a confidence game, and that's why it's so important for Latvia to just throw some nice steady stones.
Weight was great, 2-8.
Getting 11 points from here, very unlikely, but let's just get a couple of nice steady points on the board, 1 or 2 points on the board to just steady our nerves again.
See what you guys out?
Aina Forrest continuing to have the game of her life out there. And with that substitution for Latvia, Sergei Jachenko also rearranging. He's now throwing second. And what a difference already. He just couldn't find those sorts of shots throwing fourth because it is difficult throwing fourth. There are plenty of world-class curlers out there who do not throw fourth ever because it's hard.
Yeah, I didn't do a lot.
All the pressure's on you.
A little bit, like mine didn't run like Mark's.
Okay.
But I still
And
hit
this
high
was
side,
wise from
rolled to the
Latvia.
12-foot.
Right, okay.
That shows good support for Sergei
You're a little closer to
Jachenko.
center than I was, so you might get into that.
He was just having a miserable game at fourth, so let's just throw some nice steady stones at second position and keep that confidence.
It's gonna finish nice. She catch that top. Really nice, Really nice.
Another perfect throw from Aina Forrest. And again, two lovely throws from Sergei Jachenko at second. And that's a really good idea from Latvia to just give him a bit of a break from the pressure of throwing fourth. And what a difference, just two really nice clean throws. And I encourage everyone, if you play, maybe a fun tournament or a fun league, you have a go at throwing fourth and see how you like it. It is not easy. And as I said, it's really not for everyone. There are plenty of people who have played for decades and they never want to throw fourth. It's a pressure position. It's a very visible position, obviously, as well. Skipper Ojas Bridis, he has switched to throwing third. Having a steady game at two. Next one needs to stop. So two little Latvian stones hanging on by their fingernails. But this is already feels like a more steady constellation for Latvia.
13.
I think they did a very sensible decision there, just mixing up the order a bit. Just give Sergei Jachenko a bit of a rest from the pressure of throwing fourth. important that they can just finish with some confident shots, maybe just get a 1 or a 2 on the board. Canada, they have just shot the lights out this morning. What a game they've been having. And I think they just want to neutralise those 2 yellows at the back, just following that same path. They just want to land right in front, and he's done that beautifully. Ina Forrest and John Thurston in particular, I imagine they will want to rewatch this game. They're just neutralising both of those yellows at once. Boop. And yeah, both of them will be particularly delighted with their performance. But still plenty of space for Latvia. They still have that guard out front. That's still a guard they can sneak in behind. That's exactly what they've done. And this is fine. There's still space for Canada to follow. But again, Latvia need to play stone by stone. That's fine for now.
We're cheering for you.
The kids are just having a great day.
Did John throw it from over here?
I don't know where.
Where'd you throw it from?
I had it, yeah, right there.
This Canadian team, they've been together for a long time.
13, eh?
13, yeah.
Most of them played in 2022. And the previous Paralympics, they've never failed to medal Canada. But they've also experimented a bit with their constellation. We have seen John Thurston throwing last stones, sometimes with this team. He's throwing 3rd at this competition. And Mark Idison back to throwing 4th. Highly dependent on confidence curling. It's really a confidence game.
Good shot, Mark.
Great throw, Marco.
That is a great throw from Mark
Nicely
Idison.
done, 13. Good shot.
Good shot.
It's Canada line 2, but yep, that same kind of shot.
6 back.
Vai no brauc iekšā.
Okay.
Iekšā.
Same kind of shot will set you up. So, stepping into throwing 4th is Linda Mageri. She was throwing 3rd in the first half of the game. And stepping up to throw 4th, good for you. And yeah, I will not stop repeating that it takes courage to be 4th thrower. You are so visible if it goes wrong. So good for her. Taking over from her teammate, and that's a great throw from her. Really nice stuff. Same idea from Latvia. Playing that clockwise handle. And just sneak up to that red. And certainly Canada can see that yellow, there's space around it. But again, if they get that angle wrong, and we've seen that happen, those stones behind could easily catch it. One stone each to come in the 6th end.
Great throw, center solid.
Canada's confidence will be sky high after this performance. They really
nice,
just kept it
Marco.
simple, got out to a bright start.
Oops.
We're 1, 2, 3.
And John Thurston confirming it is Canada line 1, 2, and 3.
No, that's not bad.
Same kind of shot from Linda Maigeri. That will get Latvia a point. Deep breath. So it looks pretty good. It looks pretty good. And I think that is finally going to be enough for Latvia to score 1 yellow. So a very sensible idea from Latvia. Just change their order. Very effective. Just steady the ship there. That is finally a point for Latvia. And that's exactly what they needed to do. They just needed to steady the ship, take a deep breath, finish positively, which they've done. With good play from all four. But it is handshakes. Yeah, Canada really dominant in that game. They will be absolutely delighted with that performance. That's another win for them. They will go to 4 wins. Just saying thank you to our ice player assistants. I've done that job too.
Okay, I thought, because I saw you in the village at the start.
It's quite hard. You feel it on your legs, bending down and up all the time, managing the stones.
Did I say it right? Thank you.
But a strong win for Canada.
Thank you so much.
A sensible rearrangement from Latvia. Just finishing on a positive note. That's very important for them. Still plenty of points out there. But the Canadian fans always well supported this team, the Canadian fans.
There we go!
They will be full of smiles. Look at that. They're delighted. Really strong performance from Canada, defeating Latvia 11-1. So don't let your heads go down, Latvia. You did the right thing, rearranging. Finish on a positive note. And you have plenty more games left. Canada have never failed to medal at Paralympic Winter Games. And if they keep playing as they did today, they would surely be confident of continuing those achievements. There's the overall accuracy for the team. Yeah, we had a change in the positions there. And that definitely steadied the team.
Oh, that is amazing!
Crowd is great.
Canadians really appreciating the boisterous crowd in today, but look at those stats.
Yeah.
As I said, don't forget that these statistics were designed with foot players in mind, and the degree of difficulty for foot players is not as high for multiple reasons as it is for wheelchair players. So to drop stats like that for Canada is something very special. We will be seeing both teams
Because the early bus
plenty of times again. It's only session 5 out of 12 here in the round robin. Strong win for Canada today.
Good game.
Good job, Angela.
And there is the overview. Yeah, Canada so solid. Just keeping it simple from the beginning. That really working for them. And Latvia not having their best game out there, but finishing positive, putting 1 point on the board, and take that positivity with them to the next game. How does that affect the standings? Canada remain unbeaten. Latvia, they do have one win on the board. And they have plenty of games to come. Everybody plays everyone else, so each team will play 9 games before the round robin is finished. And still really anything could happen. Love to see homemade support signs. Tough game for Latvia. They remain on 1 win, but a dominant performance by Canada. They go 4 wins, 0 losses. Their super progress continues.